St. Patrick's Day is just around the corner, and if you are looking for some very simple cocktails to make this week, I've got you covered. I'm Matt, I'm the Whiskey Nerd, and like I said, this week I'm going to be making 3 cocktails that are very easy to make and more importantly, very easy to enjoy. Because let's face it, it's St. Patrick's Day, it's a holiday. You want to be enjoying yourself. You don't want to be spending time making loads of really kind of difficult to make cocktails. If, however, you are a bit adventurous and you do want to look up some very classic Irish cocktails that are a bit more difficult to make and a bit more fun, I'll put a link up there and I'll put a link down below in the description, because last year I put out some very nice Irish cocktails for St. Patrick's Day, but they were a little bit harder to make than these ones we're going to be making today. The ones we're going to be making today are, like I said, very simple. We're going to have an Irish Mule, we're going to have a baby Guinness, and we're going to have an Irish coffee. Now, 2 of those are going to be whiskey cocktails, so we're going to be using Jameson for both of those. You can use whatever whiskey you like, but if you're thinking Irish whiskey on St. Patrick's Day, Jameson is going to be one of those ubiquitous ones. If you want to find out more Irish whiskies to try this week, I have put out a video just this week. Again, link up above, link down below, which you can check out after this, because there are more Irish whiskies than just Jameson. But let's face it, on St. Patrick's Day, it is hard to go wrong with anything other than Jameson, and chances are there's going to be a deal near you about Jameson. So let's start off with our first easy to make cocktail. This is going to be an Irish Mule. We're going to make it in the glass, so it's very simple. We're going to start off with a highball glass filled with ice. We're going to have some ginger ale, some slices of lime, and because I want to make it a little bit fancy, I'm going to have this. These are some Mule bitters. You can get bitters, any kind of bitters you want, if you want to make a cocktail a little bit different, but this is my kind of favorite. These are specifically designed for Irish mules. They're from the Mad March company here in Ireland, but Angostura bitters or just no bitters will work well. It just does add a nice bit of extra flavor. So we're going to get our whiskey and we're going to measure out 1.5 ounces, 45 ml of whiskey. You can go in heavier if you want, but realistically, like, this is one of those cocktails, you drink a lot of them over the course of the day. You don't want to be overpowering it. You want it to be something that's nice and easy to drink and easy to enjoy. So you don't want to go too hard. So 45 ml is where I'd go. I'm going to get my 2 slices of lime. I'm going to squeeze one of them just to get a nice bit of juice in there, and then drop in the other just like that. And I'm going to get my ginger ale. I'm going to top it up to the top. Don't have to be very precise with it. Just in like that, up to the top. And then I'm going to get my bitters. I'm going to go in with just 2 dashes of my Mad March Mule bitters into there, just to give myself a nice bit of flavor, and then top it off with a straw. Pop it in, give it a quick stir, make sure the whiskey, the ginger ale, and the bitters are there, up to the top. And there you go, the first simple to make Irish cocktail, an Irish Mule. Next up, it is going to be a baby Guinness. This is not a whiskey based cocktail, it's actually a shot cocktail. It's one that's very easy to make and very distinctive. It uses an Irish cream. You can use whatever Irish cream you want. You could use something like Bailey's, but I'm using this lovely one from 2 Stacks, and it uses some Tia Maria. So this is going to give us the black and white look of a distinctive kind of Guinness cocktail, or rather beer. So this is going to be built in a shot glass. This one here has the Guinness logo there, so it does look kind of cool. It does look like a baby Guinness, like legitimately like a little baby Guinness. I'm just going to pop it up. You go in with about 2 or 3 times as much of the Tia Maria as you do with your Irish cream, because that's going to give you like a much kind of rounder note, because if you're drinking too much of that Irish cream, it can get quite heavy, but that I think does cut across quite nicely. We're going to get our spoon because we don't want it to sink, we want it to float up top. So just going to pop our spoon like that, there, and just pour it gently so we don't it doesn't sink through to the bottom, just like that. And you'll see that this will kind of float up top, and once that kind of settles, it'll look very much like a little mini Guinness beer, so it will be quite distinctive, and it's also a very, very tasty cocktail to drink. And last up, it is going to be an Irish coffee. This is one of those kind of classic cocktails that most people should know how to make, because you can make it with stuff you've got at home. We're going to get an Irish coffee glass, we're going to get some very hot coffee that I just heated up off camera, and we're going to get some sugar, our whiskey we already have, and some lightly whipped cream. This is all very simple. You should be able to kind of put it together no matter where you are. So we're going to go in with 1 ounce, because it's a small enough glass. We're going to go in with 1 ounce or 30 ml of our Irish whiskey. If you wanted, you could go in with a bit more. If you had a bigger glass, you could go in, of course, with some more whiskey, but I'm going to keep things nice and balanced, because again, It is a coffee after all. So we're gonna go in with 1 ounce or 30 ml of Irish coffee. We're gonna go with Irish whiskey. We're gonna go in with a nice bar spoon, maybe a little bit more of brown sugar, like that. And then we're gonna top it up, not all the way to the top, but close enough with our really nice hot coffee. So we're gonna stir this for just a couple of seconds, just to get all that sugar at the bottom kind of mixed up and melted. Okay, that is all nicely kind of mixed up. So I'm gonna get my spoon, I'm gonna float this cream over the top. If you use something like a spray cream, like that's fine. You just won't get that nice, really clean presentation up top and it will kind of sink down. But this here is lightly whipped cream, and if you float it up on top, nice and carefully, you do get this really nice, really kind of clean presentation of that cream with a really nice clean line, kind of looking a little bit like that baby Guinness right there, but again, very different. So these right here are 3 simple cocktails you can make this St. Patrick's Day. Now real quick, before I taste these cocktails, if you're new here, scroll down, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I put out whiskey cocktails like these every Friday. I put out whiskey reviews every Wednesday, and every now and then I put out different kind of videos on Mondays, like the reviews of all the Jamesons or the Irish whiskies you could try this St. Patrick's Day. So if you want to see those, make sure you're subscribed. But now let's taste these cocktails, and I think I'm gonna start off with the shot cocktail, with the baby Guinness. This is just something, you take a shot of it, very simple to enjoy, not harsh, but very sweet. That is almost like dangerously easy to drink. Like, it is a super, super tasty cocktail. The sweet coffee, the Irish kind of cream up top, it's kind of like a cold Irish coffee, but very, very sweet, very easy to enjoy. If you're ever in Ireland and you go to a bar, you can order baby Guinnesses. They will make lines of baby Guinnesses, and you'll have people taking shots because they're so sweet and so easy to drink, and they do look like a little Irish beer. So definitely want to try out classic Irish coffee up next. This is going to be a hot version, but also very, very nice. So like, good coffee, good whiskey, good sugar and cream, you can't go wrong. Just a very good cocktail. Very, again, like I said, easy to make. Like, you can see, like, when I have that lightly whipped cream, it is staying up there. It's not sinking down like you get with that spray foam. Just a tiny bit of work gets you a very, very nice cocktail. If you wanted to elevate it a little bit more, you could put a few drops of like vanilla extract into your cream so it gets a bit sweeter. And if you want to learn how to make a fantastic Irish coffee, probably the best Irish coffee you'll ever see, I have a video for that. There'll be a link up there and a link down below where I change pretty much everything about the cocktail. I make it very nice. I make it so good. Everything has been upgraded, from the cream all the way through to the sugar. So if you want to see that, make sure you check it out. And lastly, the classic Irish Mule. Lime, ginger ale, whiskey, and a little bit of bitters. Let's give it a try. Yeah, like Jameson, ginger ale, bit of lime, very hard to go wrong. A very, very popular drink here. They even make it in cans. You can buy pre-mixed Jameson, ginger ale, and lime. The little bit of the bitters, you don't need to add these. Again, like I said, you could add your own kind of bitters, but these ones from Mad March, like, they're made with lemon, a bit of raisin, and some other herbs, so actually adds a lot of flavor to it. It complements rather than fights against it, but again, classic cocktail, you don't need to add them, they just add a little bit of extra flavor. But that's just it for me. These are only 3 simple to make Irish cocktails this St. Patrick's Day. What about you? What are you going to be drinking this St. Patrick's Day? If you got something simple, if you got something complicated, let me know down below. Let the other people watching this video know what your kind of recipes are and how you like to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Me though, I'm going to keep enjoying these. I'm going to enjoy this one because it's hot, and I will see you next time. Sláinte.